Gaunt's loyalty, it's funny. Henry IV, of course, is an usurper, but the fact that Henry's children are so loyal to each other, ultimately, it feels like it all starts with Gaunt, that he really put forth this example with one huge, huge exception, that they created this loyalty and this willingness to do the things that they didn't necessarily like.
I think that's exactly right. And you look at that branch of the family, the Lancastrian family, and let's count Blanche of Lancaster in here too, Henry's mother. She died when he was very young, but she seems to have been an exceptional woman. And certainly the two daughters that she left alongside Henry, Henry's older sisters, were both formidable characters in their own right. The oldest of them, Philippa, who ends up marrying the King of Portugal, and she becomes the mother of the golden generation of the Portuguese monarchy. And so I think this is an extremely able family. And I think you're entirely right that the culture within the family that you can see being passed down the generations is one of using your ability to the best extent you can in the service of your family, your dynasty, and your country, not necessarily in that order. And Henry doesn't have whole brothers, but he has his half-brothers, the Beauforts, who also are extraordinarily able men, also play a very significant role in his reign as king and in the reign of his son, Henry V. So these are generations of really interesting, really powerful, really ambitious, but really loyal and dutiful men and women. I think they're a fascinating contrast to Richard's side of the family, where you have these two very indulged parents, the Black Prince and Joan of Kent, producing just one son who shows no interest in having children of his own. And the best understanding of that I could come to, given that we can't see behind the closed doors of their public lives because we don't have letters and diaries of the kind that modern historians are used to. The thing I love about medieval history is that I'm trying to see the picture in a jigsaw when I've only got half the pieces. But the best understanding that I could come to with Richard is really that, maybe we'll talk about his sexuality or possible interpretations of his sexuality later, but definitely there seems a sense that Richard's view of the world is that he is the radiant centre of the world around which everything else should revolve. And the idea of having a child who would then be explicitly the next heir to your throne, representing the future without you, is not an idea that sits well with Richard. It's not psychologically a place he wants to go to. And politically, he then constructs a regime that uses all the resources that would normally be given to the heir to the throne. So I think there's something very different going on in that branch of the family from the Lancastrian dynasty. And as you say, Gaunt is the wellspring of that.